CJ Flyer back with another YouTube video, coming in with a late upload here on Saturday, November 2nd, 4 p.m. We're about an hour away from the start of the first game of today, so just in time to sneak in some predictions. But before we get to those, I did want to talk about, we have a front runner for most improved player in Gradey Dick of the Toronto Raptors. As you can see right here, a couple of interesting little stats. R.J. Barrett and Gradey Dick, the first duo in Raptors franchise history to each score 30-plus points in back-to-back games. That is something, that is a headline I never thought I'd really see. And to be honest, I'm surprised this wasn't done already with like Lowry and DeRozan. But yeah, they are the first duo to each have 30-plus in a game, back-to-back, same back-to-back games. And likewise, Gradey Dick getting his career high in 31 points in the loss versus the Lakers last night, averaging 20.8 points per game. Now, taking a closer look at those stats, let's go ahead and scroll down the last few games here. 31 points against LA, and then at Charlotte had 30, shooting 5 of 11 from 3 last night, 2 of 6 from 3 the other night. You look here, oh, he fouled out too in that loss versus Charlotte. Scroll down a little bit more and let's look at the per game stats so far for this season compared to his rookie year last year. So last year getting 8.5 points per game, 1 assist, 2 boards, doing it with, what do you got here, 42% from the field, 36.5% from 3. That's right around league average with 4 attempts per game. Go to this year so far, 6 games in, he's nearly doubled the three-point volume while increasing that percentage ever so slightly, averaging more than double the points per game that he was in the entirety of his rookie season. And might I add, he is averaging the most points per game of all sophomore-level players right now, and that includes Chet Holmgren. He's currently averaging more points than Chet Holmgren of the Oklahoma City Thunder. I mean, this guy has not been on my radar much at all. I've heard, little, whispers here and there that he might be a good player. So I had to go ahead. I had to start watching his stats. I'll go ahead and put the link to this playlist in the description. This is all of his made baskets, not including free throws, from the first 6 games of the season here. Again, link will be in the description. And my goodness, his game, he's got a lot of variety. He's really good at coming, off ball, off of some screens to get open for some threes. He does have a pull-up 3 in his game as well when he's getting hot. He's got a mean floater game, and I mean like a really mean floater game. Looking really incredible. Just the way he arcs the shot over the defenders, it's unbelievable. And then he also can hit some mid-range fadeaways. He's got it all. He's got the inside game. He's got the outside game. He's looking like a true scorer here, and I don't know much about his defense. Again, I haven't really had this guy on my radar a whole lot, so I did some research, a little bit of research before making this video. In my mind, he is the clear front runner for most improved player. I know we're only 6 games in; it's way too early to tell. Perhaps his scoring will tone down a bit, in a few games. But right now, man, he's looking good, like really good. And I'm not sure we can say it's a good stats on a bad team sort of situation, just because, maybe he's getting more opportunities. We're going from 20 minutes per game to 30 minutes per game. I don't know. He's looking like he's a heck of a player, though. I'll tell you that. Pretty impressed with Gradey Dick and some of his scoring highlights that I saw. So go ahead, check out some of those highlights if you have not already. Highly recommend it. He's a fun player to watch, and I'm excited for what's to come from him. Now, let's talk about the NBA yesterday. This is the first time ever, I believe, I guessed all of the game's outcomes correctly as far as who's the winner will be. If we go ahead and pull up the spreadsheet here, which we desperately needed that because the last couple days, October 30th and 31st, pretty bad record here. More losses than getting them right. So getting all 9 of these games correct yesterday was a huge dub. Especially, some of these I went against the betting favorite here. For example, the Raptors were favored to beat the Lakers. We picked the Lakers. Pacers were favored to beat the Pelicans. We picked the Pelicans. And then where's the other one? I don't know. I still don't. I was trying to make the case for why the Hornets were the betting favorite, being that the Celtics were missing some of their bigs. Otherwise, I really couldn't figure it out. Celtics won by 15, and they play the second game of a back-to-back doubleheader tonight. Or, sorry, not tonight, but in an hour, actually. I don't know. It's the Charlotte Hornets, man. I don't see the Celtics losing both of these games. So we're going to pick the Celtics for this one. Grizzlies and Sixers, let's go ahead. Do the Sixers have their guys back yet? They desperately need Embiid and Paul George back in action. They are still out, reportedly. Man, it's not good for Philly at all. I don't even know. They're going to be towards the bottom of the standings again. It'll be just like last year, just struggling to make it through. Grizzlies still have a couple of their guys out. We'll give this one to Memphis. It could go either way, but we'll give it to Memphis here. Kings and Raptors. Now I feel like after watching Gradey Dick highlights, I'm gonna be all over the Raptors. Like, oh, the Raptors are so good. When in reality, Gradey Dick scored 31 and they lost to the Lakers. So how good are they really? But no, I'd take the Kings on this one. Warriors Rockets. I'll take the Rockets at home. Let's just double check though any injuries that I'm not remembering. Let's go ahead and see. I know Curry's out right now, so that's a huge deal. Steven Adams is out tonight. And Anthony Melton. Yeah, I'm taking the Rockets at home. Cavs Bucks. I'm about to just pick the Bucks opponent every single time until the Bucks finally win a game. I'm taking the Cavs. Timberwolves and Spurs. Got to go Timberwolves for this one in San Antonio. Timberwolves have been looking pretty great. Of course, they did just play the Nuggets the night before. But I feel like a road game versus the Spurs as compared to like a road game versus a championship contender, a little bit different. So I think they can handle that. Speaking of speaking of the Timberwolves, I want to talk about Anthony Edwards too while we're doing this video. I might have a separate video specifically for him, but can we just admire the 3-point percentage from Anthony Edwards so far? You look at his per-game totals 5 games into the season. He's shooting... Hold on, that's not the totals. I want the per-game stats. Where's the per-game? There we go. 13 threes per game, and he's making 43% of them. I mean, come on now. That's got to be like Steph Curry numbers, right? Or better. I mean, that's just insane. I don't know how the Timberwolves, I still don't have them as like a top 2 team in the West, but that's really good. Anyways, back to predicting these games. Heat Wizards, we're taking the Heat. Jazz Nuggets, we're taking the Nuggets. Coming off the loss to the Timberwolves, tough loss too. I think they'll bounce back against the Utah Jazz for sure, and being back at home will be nice. Blazers and Suns, got to take the Suns, of course. And then Thunder Clippers, we're going to take the Thunder, and it's basically the Celtics and Thunder. I'm probably going to take the, give them a win almost every single time. So we'll give the Thunder the victory there. Now, of course, we're going to compare to the FanDuel Sportsbook betting odds. But again, I do want to remind everyone, I'm not affiliated with them, I'm not promoting them or anything, I'm not partnered with them, and I'm just doing this for fun and to share my opinion and have something to compare it to. I'm not, if you're going to do sports betting stuff, do it responsibly. That being said, it looks like the odds have completely flipped for the Celtics. Celtics are now favored tonight. I still cannot make sense of why the Hornets were favored yesterday. Philly is favored by a point. That seems really close. And then who else do we got here? I'm not going to fill all these out for you. I'll fill this out after we're done recording. Sacramento favored over Toronto. Not surprised. Houston favored. Not surprised. Milwaukee's favored at home. I think there's still people leaning on the fact that they're not going to be that bad. Like, they're not going to be bottom of the East. But until they can win a game against a decent team, I'm just going to keep picking against them. Minnesota favored against San Antonio, not surprised. Miami favored, not surprised. Denver favored, not surprised. Phoenix favored, and the Thunder are favored. No surprises, I would say. Most of these games, I don't know, might have a couple close ones, but otherwise it's probably going to be a home run tonight. So let me know what you think in the comments down below, and especially about Gradey Dick and his chances of winning Most Improved Player. Interested to see what you guys' feedback is. And click one of the videos on your screen right now for some more NBA discussion.